What's going on? I'm Brian. I'm a web developer, former professor at Drew University, and for the past few years, I've just been scouring GitHub and combining all these projects into like a single bash script to provision my developer environment. The project's called Install Doctor, but I'm not here to talk about that today. I'm here to talk about one of the tools that Install Doctor can leverage, and that's called EasyEngine. So what is EasyEngine? Let's go to Google and check out EasyEngine. So EasyEngine is a script that will convert a virtual private server into a really awesome WordPress server with all the latest, greatest caching techniques integrated into the deployment. It also has some other features like um, the setup process can be completely automatic, including the HTTPS provisioning, if you configure EasyEngine to use Cloudflare and your Cloudflare API key. Okay, so normally what you do to set this up, we can start from the beginning. The first thing you need to do is go to, actually we can just start with this article I just wrote on megabyte.space. So yeah, I'm just directing you guys to the article because I have some of my affiliate links in there. I'll get like 10% of what you spend if you decide to use DigitalOcean. You can use Amazon, you can use GCP. I like DigitalOcean. It's a very simple interface, although I'm actually a principal software engineer by my day trade. And all those corporate environments, they'll be using AWS or GCP or Azure. But I still like using DigitalOcean because it's nice and simple, and it has some cool abilities to provision servers with. Like for instance, you can choose a VPS with NVMe, solid state hard disks, which I think improves performance a lot. But anyway, basically what I want to cover today is how to build a $400 WordPress $400 a month WordPress hosting experience for more like $50 a month, maybe even less. So I call this a $400 a month WordPress hosting method because if you go to WP Engine, one of the main software as a services for WordPress, and you go to their pricing, you'll see the core starts at $400 a month. And it doesn't even include everything. But basically, I'm going to show you how to provision a virtual private server that costs, it's better to spend, I like spending 100 a month. 100 a month gets you the latest and the greatest for setting up a DigitalOcean VPS. But you could honestly probably get away with using this method on a $5, yep, as I said, $5 a month server. So with a $5 a month server, I mean, it's a little bit of a stretch, but you could basically say you have the same performance as a $400 server. Even though I would say maybe a little bit more than $5, but I'm going to show you how to do it really cheap. So for starters, you're going to want to go to DigitalOcean, and you can just go in this article. If you don't mind using my affiliate link, you just click here, and oh, nice. So if you use the affiliate link, you'll get a $200 credit yourself. So you'll be able to host your VPS, for free at first, which is awesome. But we're just going to log in. And then, so I have these two different projects. And now I'm just going to walk you through creating the virtual private server. So we go to create. Once you have a DigitalOcean account, then you'll click Droplet. And now, since I'm in the New York area, I click New York. You could select the data center. There's a few different ones. It doesn't really matter too much for this. You could select any version of Ubuntu. EasyEngine, the script we'll be provisioning it with, is compatible with Ubuntu. And then the one I like doing CPU optimized with the premium Intel, NVMe SSD, and up to 10 gigabits per second. You can see the lowest cost is 109, but just for the purposes of this, we could go to basic and run this on, let's see, any of these. So we'll just provision one of these. Select all my keys. All right, so we'll create the droplet for $7 a month. And in the meantime, while it's booting up, I'll just walk you guys through this article I just wrote, which basically has all the information you need to get $400 a month extreme performance WordPress. I've spent years on this, and this is what I've come up with. So basically, you got to get, a virtual private server, use something like EasyEngine, provision your WordPress site, and then make sure that has, full page caching on 2 levels. It should have full page caching on like the Redis or Nginx level. You can either use Redis cache, which is the one I referenced in my blog article, or there's a way you can use Nginx full page cache, which actually they both have their pros and their cons. So on top of that, you also want a plugin on your WordPress site that does full page caching and optimizations. I have a link to let's see, so we have WP Rocket, and Hummingbird is the one I'm using. But basically those are integrated so that they can work with Cloudflare. And Cloudflare is part of our bread and butter in terms of this like super performant WordPress experience. So basically, yeah, so we can go back to the DigitalOcean. Looks like it's just spun up. Now we can copy this. I'm already signed into my other one. Let's see, there's no security keys, so I don't have to worry about someone hacking me from this video. So let's do that. And you can see I added a password to my SSH key. And then also I actually have to press my YubiKey, which is like this USB device to log in. It's like it's a little bit extra secure. And now basically all you have to do once you've spun up your your instance of Ubuntu by running SSH root dash and then use one of your SSH keys. The next step is literally to go to EasyEngine, and you can just run this, and I'll just show that running for a second. So it just goes ahead and it installs everything with Docker, and it has a lot of cool tools built into it. But yeah, so after you have a nice fast WordPress site set up with EasyEngine, and you could see, I'll show you megabyte.space, how quickly it loads. See, that loaded freakishly fast, but I just reloaded it. And I have a lot of plugins, so it's a little slower, but it would be super fast, super duper fast with like a vanilla naked WordPress install. And then also in the article, I talk about some other ways to push the performance of WordPress installations even further. One, and I'm not going to go into the basics of like, compressing CSS, removing unused files, shrinking images to their maximum resolution, but basically with our caching plugin and EasyEngine set up to cache, That means almost every single time someone hits the website, PHP doesn't even run. It just hits like Redis, and if it hits PHP, it hits PHP for like one request to just ask like what the name is of the full HTML file that we're going to serve. And that could be accomplished preferably with WP Rocket, although I use Hummingbird Pro since I'm a WP MU dev fan. Yeah, and there's a couple other plugins I talk about, but the two I wanted to talk about was PWA for WP. So that's linked to in this article that'll be in the description of this YouTube channel. But PWA for WP brings the features of a progressive web app to WordPress installations. What this means is that the first time the website loads, nothing is going to change. But the first time that it loads, it's the WordPress install will include a manifest.json file, which will instruct WordPress to basically download the whole website in the background, so that anytime you click on, so we can check this out on Safari, since I already have Chrome already set up. I guess it would work with incognito, but we'll just try using Safari. We'll go to megabyte space. See, okay, so oops. Oh no, it's coming soon. Anyway, so I should have turned that off, but we can try another website I've built. Let's do Lone Mountain Global. So you can see it loads pretty fast to begin with. But now if we load it for a second, we click about, it just loads like super quick. That's because all the files are already located on the person's local computer. So now you can click any link and it's just like lightning fast, you know? And then apart from all the basic optimizations that all the, free website analyzers report, in regards to CSS compression, image compression, all that. After you get that all done out of the way and you add progressive web app, and then if you wanted to take it the one more step further, you could use this plugin called Simply Static, and basically that converts the entire website into a static bundle of like a bunch of index.html files, and you could host that on like Cloudflare pages, GitHub pages, Firebase. And what I found interesting recently today was that on the Simply Static homepage, they actually have a new free open beta program where they have a integrated Simply Static and WordPress static website free service going on for one website that you can sign up for using the link posted to on the blog article on Megabyte Space. One last thing I'll talk about before signing off is with these $7 a month DigitalOcean VPSs. One of the things you might want to do, since they only come with like 512 megabytes of RAM or something around there, is you can run this piece of code which actually allocates something called a swap file on Ubuntu. And basically what that means is that Ubuntu is going to start using some of the hard disk space also as RAM in cases where the RAM runs out when you're trying to run on really low-cost equipment. I'm going to keep this article titled $400 a month of WordPress hosting for $100 a month, because that's the way I did it, and you actually come out with a hosting platform that's better than the $400 a month one. I actually think this $7 one we're doing right now could actually probably match what they're charging $400 for. Maybe not quite, but like I said in the beginning, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, so yeah, with the full page caching, everything's going to be super fast. The only thing where you might actually have to spend the $100 a month on is if your WordPress website is doing something really special and dynamic. And for most cases, it's not. It can all be full page cached. All right, so that's all I got. Thanks for watching, and make sure you subscribe because I'm going to be posting a lot of really in-depth, technical, and valuable information that not a lot of other people are even remotely qualified of being able to tell you. All right, thank you. Bye.